This is the state of the WWE, only on the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. Sit back, grab some earphones, headphones, grab some wine, and listen to a great conversation on the Wrestling Takeover Podcast.
Welcome to...
You're listening to the Wrestling Takeover.
What is your name?
With your host, Jordan Turner, who's always going to keep it real.
Come on, King.
Inside and outside the ring.
Let me make myself clear. He's got the fans behind him, King.
It's time to take over, King.
Are you ready? He's all fired up now, King. The Takeover.
Let's go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Turner. This is January 13th, 2026. This is the official state of the WWE, where I break WWE news, rumors, innuendo, speculation, and also giving you guys my personal opinions on what I read, see, and hear, and also any other conversations, any other topics that I want to personally talk about. I bring it up here on the state of the WWE. Thank you guys for joining me on another edition of the state of the WWE, man. Let's get right into it, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy this new version of the state of the WWE. Please spread the word of the Wrestling Takeover Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to the official YouTube channel, youtube.com/JTTakeover. Also, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Y'all know what to do. Social media, if you guys want to follow me on social media, I am on Instagram at The Wrestling Takeover, and I am also on Twitter at JT Takeover. I do have a TikTok as well. If you guys want to go show me some love on TikTok, where I talk about all things WWE on that platform as well, TikTok.com/JT Takeover. I appreciate all the love, man. Let's get right into a great couple of conversations that I want to really tackle. And today's centerpiece is going to be centered around WrestleMania 42. Like I said earlier in the latest video, I will be documenting WrestleMania 42 as we kind of inch a little bit closer towards. I would say I'll probably put it up after the Royal Rumble, about what would be the WrestleMania 42 card from top to bottom that I would do. So you guys can look forward to that. That is going to be coming up after the 2026 Royal Rumble. So after that is out of the way, I will be doing my own version of fantasy booking of WrestleMania 42, along with other videos that I have coming up for you guys. So you guys can look forward to many videos coming up. But we got WrestleMania 42. We have a lot of wrestling news relating to WrestleMania 42. And this is the best time of year as a wrestling fan, as a WWE fan. You have a lot of WWE fans who really haven't been watching, the product a lot. Slowly start coming back as we creep closer to the Royal Rumble, and we're on our road to WrestleMania 42. We are going to start things off with a report coming from the one and only Dave Meltzer. Okay. This is coming from Wrestling Observer newsletter. Okay. And it has to do with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I'm going to read the report, and I am going to afterwards give you guys my educational and just brutally honest opinion, take, a perspective, very respectful, but also keeping it real with you guys with my opinions on how I feel about this specific report, because I think this report is a bunch of bullshit, respectfully. And Dave Meltzer, he's got to get called out, man, because I'm getting sick and tired of reading things like this and knowing that it's just his opinion that's basing this off of, and he's flipping it as if it's wrestling news. I'm getting tired of that, and I'm going to preach my opinion here. in a second after I read this report. But the plan is for Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 42 is reportedly, quote unquote, probably not happening now. Quote unquote, probably not happening. There's a difference from reporting it's not happening to then put out and say, probably not. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see if it happens. I have doubts that it's going to happen. You want to call yourself a journalist, but you use keywords like this, right? That's very odd to me. I'll finish up the report. The reported plans changed last week when the decision was made to have Drew McIntyre dethrone Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Now, I'm going to give WWE credit. I'm going to give them their flowers. I'm going to give them their props. Drew McIntyre winning was the best decision humanly possible. And there is a lot of people within the community, within the space, that is actually wanting Drew McIntyre to walk into WrestleMania 42 as the WWE Champion. Now, like I said, the Royal Rumble was getting close, it's getting near, it's drawing near, and we don't know who's going to win the Royal Rumble. We have no idea. We don't know any of these championship matches that are going to be taking place at WrestleMania, but Dave Meltzer knows. That's a bunch of bullshit, because I call cap on that. Dave, respectfully, you don't know shit. Any of these other journalists, quote-unquote journalists, right? And me included. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a WWE fan. We don't know shit. We don't know anything. We don't know what's going on. It's tight-lipped. The only people that know are the people that need to know. We don't know anything. And here's the 411. Here's the real truth here. You got somebody like Dave Meltzer who's been in the game doing this for decades, right? Just recently, over a couple years, he's been getting called out because he has opinions and he's spinning the narrative as he's using those opinions that he has, and he's dabbling in them as if they're wrestling news. There's things that he gets right, like the Nia Jax and Lash Legend stuff. That's cool. Those reports, I ain't tripping on. I ain't sweating that. But if you talk about situations like this, now again, we don't know if it's going to be the case, but at the end of the day, why would WWE put this out? Why would Triple H give the news like this that's as significant as this to someone like Dave Meltzer? Because you know he going to run with it. You know he going to run with it, and he's going to be the first, quote unquote, and reporting something like this. And it's laughable to me, because I seen Russell Volts, and I also seen somebody else who's very reliable, someone I very much respect in the space, say that the plan is still for Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Again, we don't know a lick of shit. We don't know a lick of shit. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's real, what's not. But this is the time. This is the time where you have people who are journalists try to create narratives, try to create their own little stories that they have in their own mind, imagining, and try to put it in spawn as if it's a wrestling report. You got wrestling fans like myself who fantasy book and what makes sense here, what makes sense there, what's the best possible winners of the Royal Rumble, who should win the Chamber, what are the best possible WrestleMania matches. That type of stuff, nigga, that's different. That's a whole new stratosphere. We're playing fantasy booking. That's different. We're not creating narratives or anything like that. That's the difference between me and people in the business who are journalists. They're journalists. They're trying to, give the news out. But then you got people like Dave Meltzer and some others who act like they have real value wrestling news. They really don't. And they use this report specifically behind a paywall to have people pay for. Well, what's that about? What's that about? So that's a question mark number one. Like, I'm looking at you sideways over that alone. You feel me? It's you got real niggas in the wrestling space, bro, that like me. You feel me? I give my opinion. I fantasy book. That's it. That's it, bro. And I keep it pushing. Then you got people who are journalists that actually do their job. They don't put probably, I don't know, we'll see. Like, who puts that shit? Who puts that shit and you believe them? A journalist putting that type of rhetoric and verbiage out, that's a big question mark to me. That's an eyebrow raise. Like, I don't know if you should be putting that type of lingo. Because if you already know the plan, you're going to put it out. You're not going to put probably. You're not going to put maybe. You're not going to put, I don't know. You're not going to put those type of verbiage out there like that. So this is Cap. I don't believe this report whatsoever. It's Dave Meltzer. Like I said, guys, take every report. It doesn't have to be with Dave Meltzer. It could be with anybody. Take a report like this with a grain of salt. And people are on social media clowning Dave Meltzer, but then there's also people who genuinely believe that this is the news, that this is the real thing. WWE is going to put things out to these journalists, Dave Meltzer, for example, and put it out to spawn is as news, even though this ain't the plan that they're doing. So they're just going to put fake news out there. Or you're going to have someone like Dave Meltzer who has an opinion, but it's going to create a narrative. He's going to create this and make it into a news report. That's my piece on it. Let me know how y'all feeling about this Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes situation. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. Okay? I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Like everybody else, Dave Meltzer. And this report's crazy. I still think, from a fan's point of view, from my own opinion, that's why I always say I have no news. I have no reports. All of my opinions, outside of like reading a report, like I just did, I will read the report. But everything else after that comes out my mouth is my opinion. That's what makes me different from other people in the business and from other people, in the community. Respectfully, I know my lane. I'm staying in my lane, right? You want the honesty. You want the passion. You want the creativity. You want that attitude. You want all that. This is the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Keep it respectful. Keep it P. But at the end of the day, I'm always be myself. I'm always keep it real with y'all, and give y'all my opinion. Simple. I think this is bullshit. We gonna have to wait and see if it's true or not. If it's true, good on Dave Meltzer. Cool. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care at all. If this is true or not, and it actually comes into fruition, woo, cool. If it's cap and it comes out that this isn't true and this is still the plan, it ain't gonna paint Dave Meltzer in a good light, bro. Respectfully. But we'll see what happens. Let me know how y'all feeling about it. Talk to me about that conversation. So I'm curious. So we are going to now talk about a report from Body Slam. WWE now has clear plans in place for WrestleMania, barring any injuries and unforeseen circumstances. The majority of the top of the card is officially penciled in, quote unquote, penciled in. So this is where we're going to get into conspiracy theories, just going off based on what we're seeing on television, okay? This is going to be a chunk of the podcast. I kind of want to be fun here. I kind of want to be animated. I kind of want to be creative. I'm the most creative and honest podcast in the space, so I got to be creative. we're going to have fun here for this conversation, for this specific topic. There is a lot of people that are in the community that I have been seeing talking about WrestleMania. What are the best possible matches? What could happen? I'm not going through the whole card completely. I'm just sparring off matches that I think WWE might do from where we see today. Like I said, I'm going to take a deep dive into it as we get closer. But, yeah. So this is where things are going to get interesting. And this is where things are going to be very fascinating when it comes to the WWE product and where things can honestly potentially go for WrestleMania. So right off the bat, I think we're getting Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. I mean, that is like clear as day. Like I said, respectfully to Maxine Dupree. She's been progressing very well, very talented, respect. But y'all knew that we were going to get Becky Lynch and AJ Lee at WrestleMania for the women's IC title. It just made sense, you know. Now, I seen that Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan are going to face off against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the Women's Tag Team Championships on Saturday night's main event, which I will be tuning in, by the way. That's interesting because that was going to be one of the matches that I would presume would be happening at WrestleMania involving the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, people in the community, people, wrestling fans are sparring that, Io and Rhea should not be in a tag team. We don't know what's going to happen. And I don't really want to talk about, the WrestleMania card completely because we just don't know what's going to happen. But from the TV product and for what we see, it looks like Io and Rhea are going to remain in the tag team division. So if they're going to remain in the tag team division, and if they're going to lead into WrestleMania still in a tag team, what's the best possible match for them to be a part of? And I think a match with Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez might be the best bet in the tag team. But then again, Stephanie Vaquer, who was she going to face at WrestleMania? People have been wanting Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer, and I'm one of those individuals. I want to see that one-on-one at WrestleMania. People were saying Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. That could be another one as well, too. But if she's going to partner up with Roxanne Perez to bolster the tag team division, I think that would benefit both ladies to get them both on the WrestleMania card. Because I feel Roxanne Perez needs to be on the card. But then again, you can kind of do a triple thing with Roxanne, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan. You feel me? So it's a combustible element. You got Nia Jackson, Lash Legend. You got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. So I feel the women's tag team division, the women's tag team championship, is going to have a focal point at WrestleMania. I clearly do and clearly feel that way. But is Rhea Ripley and Io Sky going to be a part of that? Quite frankly, I think they might be a part of it, to be honest. It's just my opinion. I don't have no news, no nothing. I'm just talking to y'all for a second. They might be a part of that because if you have Rhea Ripley and Stephanie Vaquer one-on-one, yeah, you could add Io and make it a triple threat. Cool. I would be fine with that as well, too. So like I said, guys, I'm going to be jotting down a lot of options for WrestleMania where I do my own video about it. But I just wanted to brainstorm, talk about it for a little bit with you guys about WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre, who is he going to go one-on-one with at WrestleMania if he is still the WWE Champion? All hell's lead to Roman Reigns. I believe Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. I do believe that. I believe it's going to be Roman Reigns or Braun Breaker. But if I had to pick one, I'm going with Roman Reigns. And we've seen Adam Pearce and Braun Breaker. People are saying Braun Breaker is going to go one-on-one with Adam Pearce at WrestleMania. That would be pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind that. It has Braun Breaker in a high-profile position. Carmelo Hayes is the U.S. champion. 1 or 2 matches. A match with Trick Williams one-on-one for the U.S. title, or a ladder match involving Trick Williams. I personally will go the 1v1 with Trick Williams. We don't know. We'll have to see. What about the Usos? Lucha Bros. That's what I would do. Or the Hardy Boys. Triple threat TLC match. Do that. Or a match with the Lucha Bros. Or a match with the Hardy Boys. But personally, I like the triple threat personally, to be honest. TLC match, Usos, Lucha Bros and Hardys. I think that'd be popping. Okay. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, that's explanatory. But I seen a report earlier today that Tiffany Stratton is going to be a focal point at WrestleMania. I will not be surprised. And I'm going to say this right now. I will not be surprised if we get a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I have to accept that we're going to start getting multi-women and men matches at WrestleMania to get everybody on the card. I just have to accept that. That's something that I don't want to accept, by the way. I think one-on-one matches, you put the best matches on the possible card. But Tiffany Stratton got a history with Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair. That's explanatory. I think WWE is going to run into a situation where they're going to put people on the card. They're going to put too many people on the card, and it's not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense. And, yeah, selfishly as a fan, I want Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill one-on-one. That's what I want. I don't want Tiffany Stratton a part of it. I would put her in a match with somebody else, but it would have to make sense. That's the problem. Who does she got beef with? Nia Jax? I don't want to see a match with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax at WrestleMania. That's not a WrestleMania match to me. So to be honest, I think they're going to go the triple threat route. I think it's going to be Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill. I do believe that's going to happen. AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. That's the one match that I know for sure is going to happen, is Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. What about Seth Rollins? What if Seth Rollins comes back? A match with Braun Breaker, no doubt about it, that needs to happen. That needs to happen. But what about CM Punk? I think a match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania for the world title would be pretty interesting. Add Gunther, make it a triple threat. I think that would be real interesting. If Drew McIntyre rose into WrestleMania, who is he going to face for the championship? A Jacob Fatu, Cody Rhodes, triple threat. I'm just spewing. I'm just talking. What about Randy Orton? What is Randy Orton going to do? I don't know, man. It's real interesting. WWE reportedly has matches up in line. We just don't know what those matches are going to be and what's going to happen there. I just hope that WrestleMania 42 is better. And I'm talking from top to... See, this is what is different about me. Like, I don't play this shit. When it comes to WrestleMania, bro, to all my ladies and all my fellas out there, you got to make WrestleMania valuable. Every match on the card needs to feel important. Every match on the card, from top to bottom, from the first match on night one to the last match on night one, to the first match on night two, to the last match on night two. And also, you got to start the show off hot. You have to, because you're getting the fans engaged. You're getting them invested. Like last year, we got Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky start off night one. I believe it was night one or night two. They started off one of those nights. That match was one of the best matches of the year for me personally. But they start off the match with that. You have to do that, in my personal opinion. Drew McIntyre, though, man, let's get into this Drew McIntyre situation, because it's fucking up plans. It's fucking up plans, man. I am so happy for Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre is one of the best in the world. And Booker T had this to say about Drew McIntyre. So, Drew McIntyre, quote unquote, should be that top guy. He checks off every damn box, says Booker T, who praises his recent WWE Championship win. He said, quote, when you're crying about going out there and proving you should be that top guy, that's something. But Drew, he should be that guy. You look at him, he checks every damn box, give him the ball, and let him run with it. Quote, Cody's done very, very well. No, he hasn't. I'm sorry. Cody Rhodes' championship reign was fucking ass. I love Cody Rhodes, but his reign was terrible. And he needs a character change. So, we'll see. Cody's done very, very well, but I feel like it was time for a change. No, Booker T, it definitely was time for a change. It's not for me to go on record before it happened and say it's time for a change. But after that, looking at it, I think it was time for a change. I think it's time for Drew McIntyre to get his props, to get his run. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I actually really hope that Drew McIntyre really goes into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think Drew McIntyre is going to go one-on-one with Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania, and that's going to be a singles match. And I think the WWE Championship match will involve Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. It is what it is. But that's what I honestly think is going to happen. I really feel that is going to be something that the WWE is going to want to do. And I think that the possibility, you know what I mean, of that happening, it's very high. It's very high that Drew McIntyre does not roll into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion, that the match is Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. But let me ask y'all something. Do you guys want to see Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns for a third time? I'm 50-50 on it. I do, but then I don't. If CM Punk is going to roll into WrestleMania, now listen. CM Punk is defending the championship against Finn Balor next week on Monday Night Raw. What if CM Punk loses the World Heavyweight title and Finn Balor is rolling into WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion? If Seth Rollins comes back, his WrestleMania match is either going to be CM Punk or a match with Braun Breaker. That's what I think is going to happen for Seth Rollins if he is going to come back, which I do believe he will come back. He's not going to miss WrestleMania. So if he does not miss WrestleMania, honestly, the match with Braun Breaker does make a lot of sense, and I would not be surprised. Like I said, triple threat match with Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. I will not be surprised if we get a triple threat match between Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. That one makes sense. I don't want these multi-man women matches, but it is what it is. We're at where we're at. I just got to deal with it. You got to deal with it as well if you feel the same way. You feel me? But that makes sense, though. That does make sense. With Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. I wouldn't mind that. Now, here's the thing. What about Gunther? What would Gunther do at WrestleMania? A match with Brock Lesnar? A match with Oba Femi? I don't know. So it's going to be real interesting to see what Gunther does. People are talking about Sami Zayn winning the Royal Rumble, challenging Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. What's going to happen there? There's a lot of combustible elements. At the end of the day, the one match that I know for sure is going to happen is Becky Lynch and AJ Lee one-on-one for the women's IC title. That is definitely happening. 110%. We'll see what happens, man. I'm very curious to see how WrestleMania is going to shape out. I do want Drew McIntyre to walk in as the World Heavyweight Champion. We forgot Logan Paul, Randy Orton. We don't know what's going to happen. I just want WWE to give us the best, possible card that they can. And the champions rolling into WrestleMania, it might be Drew McIntyre. It might be Finn Balor. He might win the World Heavyweight Championship. It's probably going to be CM Punk, but you never know. They could flip it, and they can actually give us, Finn Balor as a hit. You know what I mean? We don't know, but it's going to be real fascinating to see where the WWE goes involving that. So it's going to be real interesting. Let's see what happens. We got to talk about Javon Evans, man. I gotta get this out because this bugged me out. Okay. So WWE reportedly sees Javon Evans as someone who can be a star but not a franchise superstar. How you know that? I'm not going to go in depth on it. I'm just going to say this quick, and I'm going to move on to the next topic. How you know that, though? How do you know that Javon Evans is not going to be a franchise player? How do you know that he's not going to be a big deal? You don't know that. He's in his early 20s. He could adapt. He could get better. He's going to get better. Javon Evans needs to be a centerpiece of the WWE future. I don't understand though. Why was this put out? Why was this put out? Did WWE put this out to see the fans' response to this? Probably. And it wasn't good. WWE fans were like, yo, what WWE you tripping? Like, what are you talking about? It seems like WWE, from my point of view, they picked Javon Evans to be a big deal, but will the machine get behind him? Probably not. But Javon Evans definitely needs to be a focal point moving forward. You know, I don't want to compare people. I hate comparing people, but he could really be this generation's Jeff Hardy. He really can. Javon Evans can be this generation's Jeff Hardy. So it's going to be real interesting to see where his career trajectory goes. I'm a fan of Javon Evans. I want the best for him. And we're going to have to wait and see, man. WWE this year, like, let's not fuck around, bro. This year, create new stars. That needs to be the whole focal point of this year. People are going to be like, Jordan, they're already doing that. No, I know they're doing that, but they need to continue to do it and not lay off on it. We'll see, man. You got the stars there, man. You got a lot of people that WWE can really build the company around. And they really need to put a focus on that. So we'll wait and see. I'm real interested to see how things are going to go. You feel me, moving forward. So it is what it is. Let's see what's popping with it. I want to end it with less flying, more wrestling, Jim Ross. We're going to end it with this. A TikTok video. I want to respond to this because this was real interesting. Let's take a listen to it, and let's see what Jim Ross has to say.
Less flying and more wrestling. How's that?
I like that.
Less flying.
Me too. I like it too. He ain't wrong. Let's talk about it. Let's continue.
Now, when I say that, I say, well, JR's lived in the past. People don't want to see the headlock for 30 minutes. I've never.
Nigga, nobody want to see high flying every second. I'm going to get to my point. I'm going to let Jim Ross speak on this, but I'm going to get to my point after this.
I never said I want to see a headlock for 30 minutes. All I'm saying is the name of the game is wrestling. Wrestling is a matter of utilizing holds, escaping from them, and pinning predicaments and things like that. It's not because here's the deal. Guys wrestle so fast, Conrad, that they'll do some beautiful moves.
They do wrestle fast. Javon Evans, Ricochet, Will Ospreay. I'm not lying. They definitely do.
Flying moves. But then they're off to the next thing. I don't get a chance to let it soak in and feel it and enjoy it.
Exactly.
And be in awe by it.
Facts.
Be respectful of it because it's head scissor drop kick, arm drag, tope, blah, 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 over the top rope here. But I never got a chance to feel all the great things that you're doing. And this is exactly what I've told a lot of talent. You do some great shit, but you do so much of it, I can't stop and appreciate it.
Just got my document.
My bad, y'all. My bad. Jim Ross is speaking facts as usual. I'll end it with this. I don't want to go too long with this specific topic. Want to get y'all out of here on a good note, man. Different styles, right? You hear people say, "Oh, the rest holds is boring. I don't want to see that." Okay, that's your prerogative. Is what it is. Too much high flying. Okay. Too much submission holds. Too much grappling. I don't want to see that. Let's get a mixture of all of it. The problem is we're not getting all of it. We're getting straight high flying aerial moves. Facts. And also too, and this is mainly towards AEW wrestlers. Y'all niggas go way too fast, bro. Y'all niggas go way too fast. Y'all niggas do not let moves breathe. Y'all don't let moves digest. Y'all don't let moves tell their own story. You're just go, bro. How about no. Let moves be able to breathe. Let moves tell their story. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is a real conversation that I know is controversial. I know this type of conversation is very complex. A lot of people get uncomfortable with it. A lot of people get upset about it because they don't know if this should be going on, if it shouldn't be going on, why pro wrestlers go so fast. They don't let things breathe, this and that. And that is true. They don't let nothing breathe. They don't let nothing breathe. They just go, go, go. That's all they do. They just go, go, go. And it's very hard to keep up with, the stories. And I really miss when wrestling wasn't just about moves. It was about moves, facial expressions, the way you carry yourself, talking trash in the middle of the ring. That adds to the story. Grab your arm. You're hurting. Tell that story. Not just move, because it makes each move that you do on an opponent and an opponent that does to you non-existent and not important. It's not important. So it's a tough time to be a pro wrestling fan right now because a lot of these moves are just not that impactful. They're not that important. And I wish we went back and just had a mixture of things, like I said, grappling, aerial, strength moves, or power moves, aerial moves, submission holds, grappling, everything molded into one. But we don't really get that nowadays. So let me know what your guys' thoughts on all of today's stories, all today's opinions on the Wrestling Takeover Podcast. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, tapping in. I'm Jordan Turner. This is the host of the Wrestling Takeover Podcast, the most creative and honest podcast in the wrestling space. I'll see y'all next time.